Hey there, folks. Welcome to Tech Talk, the Tech Topics, Pottstown's little technology show here at PCTV, recorded at PCTV and built onto the Pottstown High School. I'm Doug Crawford. I'm a technical consultant for PCTV, and for many weeks now we've been doing this show talking about all kinds of different technical topics. A lot of them have been computer and PC based instruction, but we've covered some other things too. Let me show you who I am, what I'm doing here. If we can go to my slides. I have an organization, the Tech Equalizer, that does PC and technical services, and that can be anything from networking to virus protection to repairs, creating websites, solving technical issues of pretty much any kind of variety I can be relied upon. Give me a call at this number here or check me out at techequalizer.com. And all right, so we have been talking a little bit about specifics of web browser use. I have been demonstrating how I use a web browser, and my intention is to take you as viewers, as maybe folks who have gotten onto the web, know a little bit about it, and bring you into some more sophisticated use of the web and how you can use it to answer more questions that you might have or research things that you're interested in. So let's see, we left off last week talking about opening up multiple subjects in tabs of a browser. And the web is working right now. I'm using Firefox as an example. Most of the web browsers work the same. I have recommended using this browser, back to me, for its features and its safety. We've talked a little bit about how certain browsers have better reputations for fighting off malicious code that could come in from the internet. They're all getting quite good at this, and even Internet Explorer probably isn't so bad these days. So Firefox has features that are very nice, one of which I was demonstrating before. Let's take a look at that here, is being able to have multiple web pages up in separate tabs, which we can open and close. And the last few episodes, I was using a fictitious research on praying mantises, just as an example, researching how they, my purposes a while back, I was researching how they can be used to fight off unwanted insects on your property. So anyway, that was all kind of fictitious and made up. I've got one today that I think we'll use to move forward on. And so I'm going to show you how to research a topic and use multiple tabs to keep track of what you have found. And then I'm going to show also the bookmarks, how the bookmark system works in web browsers, specifically in Firefox, but these same concepts will apply to other browsers. So here's the research topic of the moment. A guitar. All right, now this the idea of this research topic is this guitar, which claims to be an Ibanez Jem guitar, Ibanez Jem, very nice gold hardware. It has a very nicely figured fretboard with inlays. Very nice pick guard. It's got the The Jem guitar model has a handhold in its body here. And this is a very high-end Ibanez model. Well, is it? It looks like one. So, you know, with today, with things being manufactured overseas, things can be faked, and the question is this real or fake? And this might be a situation you run into with many different kinds of consumer products. Tends to affect the products that are kind of the high-end products of their kind, like this. And so if we were to go to the web and say we had this item in our possession and we wanted to know about it, there are some ways to search. And Google is our best friend on this, and I will do, actually this kind of search is not very difficult. So let's look at the website here. And as we demonstrated with the praying mantis subject, we're going to start off with what this is, Ibanez Jem. And it could be just as simple as trying to find articles that are talking about reproductions or fakes, perhaps, on this, this thing. So let's just start out with fake and see what kind of hits we get with that. And look at that, pretty much right away we come up with the first item is a YouTube article asking if your Ibanez Jem is real or fake. Here's one counterfeit alert from Gear Secure. Here's somebody asking, is my Jem 7V a fake? So already we have all kinds of interesting possible answers to our question. So what I was demonstrating before was how each of these articles we could bring up. Now what we might really do is take a quick look at the beginning paragraphs and judge whether or not it's a piece that is worth reading more detail about. So we kind of eyeball these things. And so then when we're satisfied that some of these might be interesting, we point at the title line, do a right click on the mouse, which brings up an option menu, and on your browser there should be an open link in new tab. Now in Firefox it's the very first item, and I like that because that's the one I use all the time. So going to open that article in a new tab, and it loads behind the scenes here. Now I do want to mention that the behavior of this loading behind the scene is configurable, and let me show you that, because I think by default most browsers are going to automatically load a tab and shift right to it as soon as it loads, and that's really, I don't prefer that. So if you like what I'm doing here, like I'll give you an example. We'll go down to another one, and I will, here we go, spotting a fake Ibanez. That sounds like a very well defined web page. So we'll open that in a new tab, and you'll watch right here it's starting to load, but it leaves me on my same listing here. So we call that loading behind the scenes. And the way that is, you can ensure that that happens like that, is under Tools, Options, and this should be a similar place in any web browser. There should be, tabs has become so important that there is a section of the options specifically for tabs and how tabs behave. And this one, let's see. Okay, when I open a link in a new tab, switch to it immediately. That is not checked, which goes to say that it loads in the background. If I were to click this and enable it, that would mean that it would switch to the tab right away. And I'll show you how that behavior works. I'll leave that check marked right there, which is not the way I prefer it. But now, if I right-click on this item, open it in a new tab, it's going to take me away from what I'm looking at immediately and load that page and take me to it. You may like that better, but I tend to like to scan my search items and open up any number of them while I keep scanning. I like to keep that continuity, which I think I mentioned last time. So I'm going to go back into Tools, back into Options, and I'm going to uncheck this so that my tabs load behind the scenes. So now I've opened a number of web pages in these separate tabs here that are supposed to be informative web pages about the Ibanez fake situation. And so let's scroll down. This is a person asking if someone can give some tips about identifying a fake Ibanez. And it kind of goes on, and I'm not finding that so useful. People are just kind of conversing about it. This is another similar thing, but in this case, they're going to show some pictures of a real Ibanez and some pictures of possible fakes. And here's another one that is going to show some pictures. And this actual here, this is a real one, and this is a fake one. And let's see, there's probably a few more. I'm looking for one that might give just a good list of information rather than a whole lot of verbiage. That's not a good one. Let's see. Of course, watching a YouTube video might be a very quick way to find out. And I would recommend, if you were really trying to figure something like this out, YouTubes are usually very informative. Okay, here's an eHow. Now, eHow is a massive web information site that tells instructions on many things, from repairing cars to I don't know, how to buy something, and this particular one has specific items, what to inspect. Inspect the guitar's tremolo, inspect the tuning machines, okay? And so this is a fairly definitive site, and I'll cut to the chase. What I learned from this particular kind of web research, if we can look to the side here, is that this piece here should have certain specific characteristics. These should be black. It should not say licensed copy of Floyd Rose here. That would not something that Ibanez would care to put on one of their pieces. Although it does say Ibanez right here. That's kind of meaningless. So this is not correct on this guitar. This pickup here should have silver poles in its pickup, and it has gold poles. The instructions on that website say so. The guitar's tuners should not say Ibanez. Oddly enough, Ibanez is not the correct thing. So all this information was available and able to be quickly researched. And my point is how the tabbed information displaying kind of helps you keep this information sorted. Let's take a look at it again. So this tab is my first tab, and it's the original Google search. These tabs I opened up from links in my Google search, and they allow me to keep referring back and forth to one another. I might read through something here and say, oh, I wonder if that's what it says over on this one here. And I can compare and contrast information across these sites, as well as I could open a dozen more and still keep all of this very organized and know where I came from, know where I'm going to. And so that's the essence of tab browsing. And this is just one browser window full of these tabs. I might want to start down a whole different path of research, and I might recommend then at that point to do this, to open a new browser window. So now I've got a fresh window with no tabs. I've got my original window with all the guitar tabs there, and I might want to try a different tact. I might want to search a different way. I might want to say Ibanez Jem reproduction value, and I might want to start a research stream and see maybe what these guitars are worth, even if they're reproductions. So then I would look through this Jem replica, and now there's different terminology. Here's a price, $275. I might then research whether or not this is what the guitar I'm looking at. And so I often will have multiple windows open with different categories of searching and different sets of information, and having all of this kind of organized and all of this laid out is a really useful way. It's the way to use the web. It's kind of the power user's way of doing research. Here's another example. Let's say I wanted to see what's going on eBay with respect to this. So now I might open up, I'll do a new window. So this is my third window. I got them layered. There, I've got 3 windows. So this is my original one, which is the original research. This one's about values. And now I might want to go to eBay, the big online marketplace for mostly used stuff. And I might want to see what real Ibanez Jems are going for. Now, I doubt that someone on there is going to disclose right at the face value that that their guitar they're selling is a fake. However, it might be part of this exercise to look at the guitars that are available and do the same thing. Open these in new tabs. Scroll down, find something that looks interesting. Right-click on it, open a new tab, and open up any number of these guitars and take a look at what they are selling for and what they are. This can also be a useful way. In fact, in this particular case, I'm trying to decide if this is a real gem or if this is a fake gem. There can be lots of examples here of real models that you can, because of the repetition of seeing the same characteristics over and over again across multiple items, in this case guitars, you gain some confidence that what you're looking at is the real thing. And there can be some great pictures that can help you study. In this case, eBay has gone to this imaging method that lets you zoom in on images and see a zoomed in picture. So it's actually a pretty useful way to study items. Again, This is just another example of using tabs, in this case eBay, and a search within eBay, and then opening up items in separate tabs and being able to keep those all open and very easily accessible by just clicking on their tabs. So multiple windows, multiple tabs within Windows is a wonderful thing. How we doing? What's our time at today? 8. Okay. So we learned here in this case that this is in fact a reproduction, and there might be some folks out there that are interested in guitars, and I can tell you a little bit about this particular imitation Ibanez. And this, we're a technology show, and music instruments is crossing over with technology. It always has. The electric guitar, in fact, is a great example of a merging of magnetic technology with music. The strings vibrate. The vibration is picked up by the magnetic field changes in the pickups, and the electrical fluctuations that occur on the pickup go out to an amplifier, get amplified, and we hear these electrical fluctuations as sound when the amplifier causes the speaker to move in the same way that the strings are moving, and then we hear it because it pushes the air to our ears. Okay, anyway, so technology, this is not far from our purpose here of talking about technology. But this guitar, in fact, is a reproduction or a fake, a little bit sneaky because it claims to be an Ibanez guitar. You can obtain these inexpensively. Ibanez is not thrilled about it because it hurts their reputation, and that it doesn't live up to the quality of what Ibanez wants to put out as a true Ibanez quality. However, it's not a terrible guitar. We put new strings on this guitar and kind of did a little bit of tweaking on it, and it plays well. It actually sounds good. So if you're looking for inexpensive guitars, my only point here, I'm not encouraging people to buy fakes. I think that is not a good thing for the country or a good thing for the brands that put out hard work and long-term dedication to musical instruments. However, it is possible, my only point in showing this really is that it is possible to get a decent playing guitar for some pretty small money if you're just starting out. You can find decent playing instruments for low money, for several $100s to certainly under $400 can buy an instrument that does play well. However, I do recommend you go to a guitar store if you don't know what you're looking for. I was just down at George's Music in Spring City. They're good old friends of mine there. I'm putting in a free plug. They helped look over this guitar with me. And I can report that right now they have a beautiful setup of instruments and products. If you're still looking for gifts for the holiday season and you have musicians on your gifts, folks who you need to buy gifts for who are musicians, I recommend you stop in down there in Spring City. Say hello to the folks. Say hi to Tom, the manager, and tell him that Doug sent you from PCTV and Tech Topics. So, let's see. Back to the web, I think, at this point. I want to show you, let's say I wanted to move on from this little web research, but I wanted to keep some rabbit trails to what I have done. I want to show you how to use the bookmark system very briefly. I won't be able to get into the real, all the features of it, but let's show you a couple of things about the bookmarks. So, bookmarks work on a per web page basis. So you see I've got these 3 windows open, and I've got several tabs open in each one. And when you bookmark a site, you're bookmarking just one site. You're not bookmarking the whole window. So let's say I was, let's find a good one. Okay, this one had nice pictures. Now let's say there was information on here that was so important that I wanted to be able to get back to this. Well, here's the quickest way is to just say bookmark this page. Now there'll be something like that in all the browsers under their bookmark window. And I'll show you where this goes to and how you can get it back. Now some browsers will call this favorites. It's a cute way of referring to bookmarks. And okay, if your browser has something that says favorites, you'll need to do, invoke their favorites menu item. So if I bookmark this, by default, there is a name. The name is the name of the website that the website declared was its name. And you can change it. You can call it, this is the best Ibanez fake site. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, or you can just leave it alone. And by default, it goes to the bookmarks menu, which is it's the top level of where bookmarks are stored. So I'll do this and then I'll show you where this goes to. So I'll say done right here. Now, next time I go into the bookmarks menu, look, lo and behold, right here shows up the bookmark that I made. And so that's what it is referring to by the bookmark menu. So if I go to some other spot, let's say I open a new window. Let's open a new window. All right, brand new window. And I go to my bookmark, go to bookmarks menu selection, and scroll down and click on this bookmark that I made. That is going to bring me to the bookmark. And that brings up that page. So forevermore, as long as I keep this around, I've got a way to get back to where I was. And that's all we have time for to cover of the bookmarks. I hope you found this whole exercise kind of interesting. I know the guitar subject was interesting for me and a lot of fun to chase down. And boy, there's just answers like that for any questions you have on the internet. That's why the internet has become pretty much the computer these days. So I'm Doug Crawford, Tech Equalizer. I am here for you if you have technical issues to solve, and look for me next week.